We have the tools and, hopefully, the talent to benefit our patients by restoring them to more normal levels of conscious awareness. I closely followed developments in physics and knew there were theories about how it all works, but I had patients to care for and more important things to consider. My complacency with that arrangement of casual understanding came crashing to a halt on November 10, 2008. I collapsed on my bed and fell into a deep coma, after which I was admitted to Lynchburg General Hospital, the same hospital where I had worked as a neurosurgeon. While in coma, I experienced things that, in the weeks after awakening, baffled me and cried out for an explanation within the bounds of science as I knew it. According to conventional neuroscience, due to the severe damage to my brain caused by an overwhelming bacterial meningoencephalitis, I should not have experienced anything at all. But while my brain was besieged and swollen with infection, I went on a fantastic odyssey during which I remembered nothing of my life on Earth. This odyssey seemed to have lasted for months or years, an elaborate journey into many layers of higher dimensions, at times viewed from the perspective of infinity and eternity, outside of space and time. Such a complete inactivation of my neocortex, the outer surface of the brain, should have disabled all but the most rudimentary experiences in memory. Yet I was haunted by the persistence of so many ultra-real memories, vivid and complex. At first, I simply trusted my doctors and their advice that the dying brain can play all kinds of tricks. After all, I'd sometimes given my own patients the same advice. My final follow-up visit with the main neurologist involved in my care came in early January 2010, 14 months after awakening from my treacherous week-long coma. Dr. Charlie Joseph had been a friend and close associate before my coma, and had struggled with the rest of my medical colleagues through the brunt of my horrific meningoencephalitis, recording the details of the neurological devastation along the way. We caught up on the specifics of my recovery, all of which were quite surprising and unexpected given the severity of my illness during that fateful week, reviewing some of the neurological exams and MRI and CT scan results from my time in coma, and performing a complete neurological examination. As tempting as it was to simply accept my extraordinary healing and current well-being as an inexplicable miracle, I couldn't do that. Instead, I was driven to find an explanation for the journey I took during the coma, a sensory experience that completely defied our conventional neuroscientific concepts of the role of the neocortex in detailed conscious awareness. The unsettling prospect that fundamental tenets of neuroscience were incorrect led me into deeper territory in my final discussion with Dr. Joseph that blustery winter afternoon. I am left with no explanation whatsoever as to how my mental experiences deep in coma, so vibrant, complex, and alive, could have possibly occurred, I said to him. It seemed more real than anything I had ever experienced. I recounted for him how numerous details clearly placed the vast majority of my coma experience as occurring between days 1 and 5 of my 7-day coma. And yet the neurological examinations, lab values, and imaging results all confirmed that my neocortex was too damaged by the severe meningoencephalitis to have supported any such conscious experience. How am I to make any sense of all this? I asked my friend. I'll never forget Charlie's smile as he looked at me with a sense of knowing and said, "There is plenty of room in our understanding of the brain and mind and consciousness to allow for this mystery of your remarkable recovery to indicate something of great importance. As you well know, we encounter copious evidence in clinical neurology that we have a far way to go before we can start claiming any kind of complete understanding. I am inclined to accept your personal mystery as another lovely piece of the puzzle, one that greatly raises the ante in approaching any understanding of the nature of our existence. Just enjoy." I found it most reassuring that a highly trained and capable neurologist, one who had carefully followed the details of my illness, was open to the grand possibilities implied by my memories from deep in coma. Charlie helped open wide the door that has led to my transformation from a materialist scientist, proud of his academic skepticism, into someone who now